Our thought in starting Road of Shalom was the fact that we wanted something that was a community-minded congregation.
I think there were 35 families, if my memory serves, who signed the original charter.
My dad and mother were founders of the congregation, and Dad served as an early rabbi.
His name was Larry Seif. He used to come every Friday night, and he ran the services.
And the people all banded together, and there were relatively few of them. They felt they were sort of obliged to show up for services in order to be supportive.
Because we were so small, everybody had to come to services on Friday night. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a minyan.
There was no building in those days. The congregation moved from facility to facility. I think the first Christian church. They used to meet in the basement of the Fink building in Falls Church.
We'd pick flowers in our backyard and bring it in. And we would make cookies every week and bring it in. We used the ladies' room to wash out the coffee pot and to fill the coffee pot with water. One person had to hold the door open, otherwise we couldn't do it.
Before we had a building, there were a number of people who were very well organized here. We schlepped the ark from one place to another.
The logistics that it took, the commitment that it took, the consistency, the week in, week out effort to put together a new house of worship is truly mind-boggling. I think that they really had to do everything, and not just for a couple of months or not just for a year, but for years.
Most of the people that started it, that founded it, were members of Bethel, and they were very dissatisfied with the atmosphere.
It wasn't just that they left from Bethel. Most important, I think, was that we needed a congregation out in Fairfax County, further out. Bethel was in the center of Alexandria.
The atmosphere at the other congregation was pretty cold.
The story goes that Road of Shalom is a name for congregations that have broken off from somewhere else, because it means pursuers of peace, and it happens after there's been a breakup of some sort.
Another member wanted it to be called Beth David, and there was other people that wanted Road of Shalom. And there was a big discussion, not a fight, because we tried not to fight, but a big discussion about what it should be named. And so we did have a vote, and I think Temple Road of Shalom won by one vote. Otherwise, we would have been Beth David.
There were many difficult years, both just before and just after we physically came to this building. The difficult years involved finances and decisions on how to lead, and a whole lot of new people coming in quickly who didn't have quite the same vision as the original founders.
Larry Berkowitz would say, you don't get things done by saying no, you get things done by saying yes. And he often would cite the core of that group, that when it came to tough decisions, they would figure out how to say yes, it would work out somehow.
From the beginning, I think people realized that if we were going to really succeed to build a community, we were going to need a home.
There were about 7 people, as I recall, who put up the money to buy the land.
There was 5 acres or something of land available, and the price was, I don't remember what, but they thought it was very substantial.
There was a bit of a controversy at the time when the decision was sort of made that we needed to build, as to just where we wanted to build. I mean, I, for example, thought that there were sites that were closer to the Beltway off of Annandale.
This was really the right land, the right place for a congregation, for a building to be built. And so they went and bought it on their own, and they held it until the congregation changed its mind, and then they just turned it over to the congregation for the amount they had paid for it.
We were outvoted, and we settled here. And I think it was a good decision from the standpoint of growth.
Rabbi Berkowitz was a dreamer. I know that he saw a kind of boundless possibility here on Westmoreland Street, and he was ready to tackle new projects in new ways.
Little by little, the congregation grew, and there were people who were like-minded, They were anxious to become part of the community and do things in the community.
I believe that the first 8 years are what really provided the impetus for this congregation.
But it was the people. It was the spirit of the people. And we all worked together so that we could build a congregation.